guys, welcome back to Berry's Corner. It's Emily here, and today I'm going to be talking about popular book talk romance books and if they're worth it or not. I've read a lot of popular romance books from Book Talk. I've read a majority of them, so I'm very excited to talk to you guys about them. I did a whole reading vlog on reading 3 of the most popular romance books, so I'll leave it down below or somewhere here if you guys want to watch that video. But before I show you all the books, please subscribe, comment down below, and like this video. All of my social links are down in the description box below, as well as my Amazon wishlist if you would like to gift me a book. Now let's get on to the video. Okay, starting off with the Love Hypothesis, I started it off first because it's a #1 in my heart. I absolutely adore this book. This and The Hating Game. I didn't add The Hating Game onto this list because I talk about it too much, but if you were wondering, 5 out of 5 stars for The Hating Game. But other than that, this is about a girl named Olive, and she's a PhD student, and she told her friend that she had a boyfriend and she was going on a date, but she lied and she didn't. So her friend is in the lab that she's working at, and she sees her friend across the hallway and kisses the person right next to her, which turns out to be the young hotshot professor Adam Carlson. Adam freaking Carlson is like my #1 book boyfriend. Like, I'm absolutely obsessed with him. I absolutely love him. This book, I know a lot of people rat on it, but I don't, well, not a lot of people, but I don't see where all the hate is coming from. This book is so cheesy, but in the best possible way. The main character is definitely not annoying. Adam Carlson, oh my gosh, he's so grumpy, but like has a soft spot for her, and who does not like that trope? The one main grievance I've seen on Goodreads is that she continuously talks about how tall Adam Carlson is. And you know what? They're right. Okay, it is very apparent that she talks about how tall he is. But honestly, it's not annoying, okay? It just feeds into how cute she is. And if that really bothers you, like people's heights, I guess don't read it, but like it's really not that big of a deal. The academia in this book just makes me so happy to be going to college or university, and I cannot wait to get a master's. I cannot wait to reread this book. It's so amazing. 5 out of 5 stars. Like, this book I think is the top book that I found off of Book Talk, and it's just chef's kiss. I love it. Now going on to Addicted to You, which is very, very popular. This follows a girl named Lily and a guy named Lauren, and they are both addicts, and they have been pretending for years to be in a relationship so that they can fuel each other's addictions. Lily is a sex addict, Lauren is an alcoholic, and so one day they're like, hey, what if we want to actually make this relationship come true? Will it get in the way of our addictions? And of course it does. I do not like this book. I think the writing is subpar. There, I said it. I think Lily is the only character in this book that is actually worth something. Lauren is so rude to her when he's sober. Like, every character in this book does not need to be here. There are so many characters in this book that just don't, like, they have no rhyme or reason of being in the plot, and she just adds them in to just be in, you know what I mean? And so there was this one character that was introduced halfway through, and it was going to be this big plot twist. Oh my gosh, I knew from a mile away what was happening. She just added in so many tropes, and it just didn't mesh together well. Again, one thing that I really, really did love was Lily. I really liked her internal monologue. There was this one point where she was like, I wish I had an alcohol addiction, because everybody looks at me like I'm a whore and they do not understand the struggle that I go through. But then she's like, I shouldn't think that way because people die daily while I'm not dying at all. And I'm just like, wow. Okay, like, I really like the portrayal of the addictions, but other than that, this book is garbage. 2 stars. Now let's go on to some Colleen Hoover books. Of course, if you know Colleen Hoover, she's just taking over TikTok right now. Honestly, she's taking over everything. I will briefly go over these. So the first one is Reminders of Him, and this follows a girl named Kenna, and she accidentally kills her boyfriend in a car accident, so she goes to prison for 5 years, and then she didn't realize that she was pregnant, so she has to give up the baby to the boy that she killed, their parents. And now that she's out of jail, she's trying to find her child, but then she meets this guy named Ledger Ward, who she has an connection with, and she finds out that it was the best friend of the guy that she killed. And so it is such a good story. I sobbed from page 130 on. Just the story of Kenna and how she's so strong in the things that she has to go through. She's so selfless. A motherly love is something that I can just never get over, and Colleen Hoover did it so right. Ledger Ward is so caring because he's stuck in the middle of it. He's like, I literally have learned to hate you because you killed my best friend, but like, I see your side now, and it's insane. If you were to pick up any Colleen Hoover book, this is the one. 5 out of 5 stars is my absolute favorite. But my second favorite is It Ends With Us, and this follows a girl named Lily who meets a neurosurgeon and strikes up a romance, but then an old flame comes into the picture, and although you may think that it's mostly about romance, I mean, it is, but the main focus of this book is about abuse and domestic abuse, and it is heart-shattering, soul-crushing. I mean, it's not as soul-crushing as Reminders of Him, but I know this book has so much hype, but it's truly worth it. Like, if you know this book, like, it is so well done, and Colleen Hoover just does something and sprinkled a little bit something extra in this book. Now let's go on to Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I absolutely hated this book. Let me just get this real quick, because I need to sip on something, because this is making me angry. This book is about a girl named Tate and a guy named Miles, and Tate is going to live with her brother, and across the hall is a guy named Miles, and they instantly have an attraction, and they start a friends with benefits. But Tate is like, I am loving this guy. She's like, I want a relationship. And Miles is like, no, because of my past, we can't have anything more than this. And so it switches point of views between Miles and this girl named Rachel, his past, and Miles and Tate. And so I do think that Colleen Hoover's parallels between the two relationships are brilliant. So freaking brilliant. But the actual relationship between Miles and Tate is horrible. The only thing they have going for them is lust and physical attraction. How Miles treats Tate is absolutely disgusting. And if you know this book, and when he says Rachel, guys, I would have been done. I would have slapped him. I literally would never have wanted him in the first place. I don't understand how they ended up together. I don't understand, because there is no way that Tate could have loved Miles unless she was just into toxic men. Okay? 2 stars. I honestly don't understand why Colleen Hoover wrote this book, and I know a lot of people love it, but trust me, skip over it. The next book is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This book follows a girl named Macy and a guy named Elliot, and basically Macy has an okay life. Like, she has a fine, content life, and she has a fiance, but really she's keeping him at arm's length because years ago she fell in love with this guy named Elliot, and he broke her heart in a million ways. And now Elliot's back, and she does not know what to do with her life. It switches perspective between back then and now, and Elliot is just, I love him to pieces. There's something about a guy that is so down bad for a girl since the beginning, and I truly think that their relationship is one for the books. But I truly think that this is one of the best romance that Christina Lauren has ever written. The only thing that I will say I did not like about this book was the ending. It needed 2 more chapters to solidify their relationship. Well, there was the thing that Elliot did in the past. We finally find it out near the end, and we were very much focused on Elliot's feelings at the end, and I was like, what about Macy's? So I feel like we needed 1 more chapter to focus on her feelings, 1 more chapter to solidify the relationship, and then the epilogue, because a lot happened in the epilogue. But overall, I give it a 4.5 stars. I think it's one of their better books, but just think about the ending, okay? Just think about it. Now, the Spanish Love Deception, and this book has a little bit of skepticism surrounding it. It follows a girl named Catalina, and she needs a date to her sister's wedding in Spain because her ex-boyfriend's going to be there, and she told her family that she had a boyfriend. So this guy that is in her job, who she absolutely hates, and he hates her, he offers to go with her, and she's like, why, but okay. I know you either hate or love this book. For me, I was kind of in the middle. I think this book is about a 3.5 to a 4-star read. I think in the beginning is what really just made it go down. I felt like Catalina was really, really annoying in this book in the beginning, okay? I thought the enemies was too harsh in the beginning. The writing pacing in the beginning was weird. But once we got to the end, I was like, I love this so much. Aaron Blackford, by the end, he was like, he learned Spanish for her. Also, the representation was done so well. I'm Hispanic. I mean, I'm not from Spain, of course, but it was very, very heartwarming to see him learn Spanish for her and for her family and be so nice and cuddly and amazing, and didn't say anything about her family being so nosy. Like, I just loved it so much, that aspect of it. The romance in the end felt so easygoing and amazing, and I actually learned to love our main character, even though I was kind of off to a rocky start with her at the beginning. Overall, it's not like no love hypothesis, but I think it's worth your read if you're interested in it. It's not the best, but it's definitely not as bad as some people are saying. The next book is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This book, I'm gonna be honest and say it's pretty forgettable. It's a hockey romance between this girl named Hannah and a guy named Garrett, and he needs some help with some schoolwork, and she really wants to get this guy's attention, and he's like, hey, if you want, I can like fake date you so that he will finally, look at you or something. And it was cute. I thought it was cute. I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. It was forgettable, truly. I think the writing was subpar. I think it was very cheesy, and I think maybe I would read it again. I don't think continuing on with the series is a really good idea. Like, I don't know. Like, would I pick up the next book in the series or buy another really popular romance book? I would probably buy another really popular romance book. I really like the hockey aspect. Is he even a hockey? Like, I don't, like, I don't know. Like, I guess I got the memo. Like, I don't know. I feel like what I said about the Spanish love deception, if it really intrigues you, pick it up. But like, I wouldn't, like, it's not the best, okay? It's very forgettable. We're almost done, guys. Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I actually didn't read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I did not realize it was a companion novel series. My bad. But I actually really enjoyed this book. So this one is about a girl named Hannah and a guy named Fox Thornton. They met before. He's a fisherman and also a really big player. And they started texting and they became friends. And she works for a production company and she makes the guy, the producer, move the movie to where Fox lives. And so she starts living with Fox and, you know, it turns into a little bit more. I think it was really cute and spicy. I think it was one of the more spicier books on this list. I think I really loved learning about Fox's background and why he's a player and why he's afraid to step out of that role. I thought Hannah as her main character was pretty cool. The one thing I heard somebody else say was that I feel like I wish the friends aspect at the beginning was built a little bit more than just the text that we had in the first like prologue. I wish they would have built up the friendship more, but other than that, that's pretty much it. I thought it was a really, really solid read. I'm honestly so excited to read It Happened One Summer. Can't even talk today, guys. Because that's an enemies to lovers and I love enemies to lovers, but it's definitely worth a try. I'm gonna rank them for you. Okay, Beach Read, I think is first. Okay, like I genuinely love Beach Read. It's about a girl named January and a guy named Augustus, and they both are writers. They're enemies also, and basically they're struggling to write a book in their genres, and so they're like, hi, you think it's so easy to write my genre, let's switch. And then summer romance occurs. Okay, I think it's my number one because it's the first one I read and I absolutely adored. But my second favorite one is Book Lovers. Okay, this one I'm absolutely obsessed with because it's about a girl named Nora Stevens and she's in the publishing industry and she meets this guy that's also in the publishing industry and they do not like each other. But then she goes on vacation, he ends up being there, and just like a little romance ensues, and I absolutely adore it. I think Emily Henry can truly do no wrong with these books. And my last favorite is People We Meet on Vacation, which actually was like a friends to strangers to like maybe something more. Okay, it basically follows Poppy and Alex, and they used to go on vacation every single summer together since they were in college and they met. And basically it goes back and forth between their previous vacations, and they stop talking for whatever reason, and she's like, I'm missing him, so I'm gonna invite him out to a vacation, and they end up going on a vacation again, and it's just back and forth. I don't honestly remember what I hated about this book, but there was something that I just didn't love, and I ended up giving it a 4 stars. 4 stars is not a bad rating, but it's definitely my least favorite out of the 3, which is crazy because some people really are obsessed with it. I think that if you're wanting to start off with Emily Henry, I think Emily Henry can do no wrong in my eyes, but definitely start off with one of these. This one gives more Hallmarky vibes, but not in like the annoying cheesy way, but like in the, you're going to like a Hallmark, like, I don't know, like it's like, it's great. It's a cute read, and Beach Read will just never do you wrong, okay? This one, and then if you're like, you know what, let me continue with Emily Henry, then read People We Meet on Vacation. Okay, so those were all the popular romance and book talk books that I have. I definitely have more that I've read, so definitely let me know if you want me to do this video again, do a little part 2. Let me know what you thought about these books, if you completely disagree with my thoughts, or if you completely agree with them. Please subscribe, comment down below, do whatever you want to do, and goodbye!